Hello, ISC 2021 students. I am here to teach you the entire Echoes book in one chapter. There are 10 chapters as you see. Salvatore, Fritz, Quality, To Build a Fire, The Story of an Hour, Chinese Statue, Gorilla in the Guest Room, The Singing Lesson, The Sound Machine, and B. Wordsworth. Let's start from the last chapter, which is B. Wordsworth. B. Wordsworth by V.S. Naipaul. Okay, what is this story about? Tell me. Do you know what the story is about? If you have to describe the story in just one sentence, what would you say this story is about? It's about a boy and it's about a man. The boy is a young boy living on the street as B. Wordsworth, right? And B. Wordsworth is the poet. He likes watching bees, he likes watching nature, he loves nature, and so did the woman he loved, who is sadly not with him anymore. What is the main theme of the story? You have to know that. What are the main characters, or even all the characters actually? His mother, him, the cop, everybody, right? And you have to remember about the trees and about the poem that he was writing, the masterpiece he wrote once, the greatest poem that will there ever be. Okay, you have to know all about that. Uh, who is the author? It's V.S. Naipaul. You have to know his backstory, not because you will be asked a question like you used to be in 10th standard, some characters, but reading about every author's background, you will get to know a lot about how his stories come about. Like if you know about Wizard of Hyderabad, you will know what the poetess has done in her life, why she wrote that poem. This is about B. Wordsworth. The next thing that we're going to discuss right here is okay, Klausner. Okay, you have to remember a couple things in this story, and it's a little bit long one. The sound machine, who all are there in it, right? By Roald Dahl, the beloved Roald Dahl. You have to remember Klausner. You have to remember the doctor. You have to remember the lady cutting her roses. You have to remember all of that. You have to remember every moment of genius in it, about how he talks about the machine, talks about it to his doctor, how he was weak. This is Mrs. Saunders, about the rose bush, all that about him. Then why he said he couldn't even eat bread because he thought about the wheat being cut and how the wheat was crying, all about it. And the axe, the tree, him telling him to put iodine on it, fixing the tree for him, making the tree feel all better, all of that. About how some geniuses are crazy and sometimes genius comes with a little bit of crazy. The next theory that we are going to talk about is The Singing Lesson by Catherine Mansfield. This is the background of her. So, if you know about her, her letter, what happened, like how someone came and gave her a wish a good morning in the morning, and she was always very happy. This time she made them sing a sad song instead of happy song at the starting, and what affected her mood? Why was she so upset? Why did some teachers behave the way they did? All of it. And then page 42, Mary, she said. Page 32. And, picking up the yellow chrysanthemums, she held it to her lips to hide her smile. Then she turned to the girls, rapped with her baton. Page 32, girls, page 32. We come here today with flowers laden, with baskets of fruit and ribbons to boot, to congratulate. Stop, stop, she cried. This is awful. This is dreadful. Voice sounded over other voices, full, deep, glowing with expression. Miss Meadows broke off. Okay, if you remember the whole story well, read all of it. I'll also be making a video for predictions, what's gonna come, because what came in 2020, what came in 2019, according to that. And tell me if you want a quick review of all the Shakespeare and all the poems too. Okay. Ah, one of the stories I love, A Gorilla in the Guest Room by Gerard Dirrell. Okay, this is the background of Gerard Dirrell. He's a great writer. Love all his work. This about Pongo, about how he was small, how he was smarter, he didn't snatch the banana, how a um local person, a local animal vendor wouldn't even know a difference between simple animals. So this might have been a chimpanzee and not a gorilla. How it came and made the map of Japan with grapes, all of that. If you remember how the handles a bit turned and how one of the people announced on the speaker in the room, in Geraldo's room, guest room, home, sorry, in the hall, that he had stomach problems and how he grew up, how he found Nandi, how he chased her around, let her beat her and started laughing, how they fell in love, how they were together, and all of that, how he was double of her height and weight and stuff like that, how he became really sick, and how he became really, really sick, and how he like fixed how it was fixed, how he became well again, all of that. Remember all of that. So Mr. Darrell, right, how he was able to get him okay, what foods he gave him, the whole platter, what he rejected, what fruits did he love, how did they try to get him some medicines, all of that stuff, remember? And the ending, the happy ending. Next up is okay. Casinos open in Britain. This is a story you have to remember the timeline. Who is the father? Who's the grandfather? Who was his father? Who's the son? And who is the black sheep in the family? Chinese statue. This is a really good one too, by Jeffrey Archer, as you can see. So, if you remember about Harley John, if you remember about the artisan, if you remember about the problems in the middle, if you remember all the sons, if you remember the problems in the middle, and here, like Sir Alexander regretted his thoughts, and Emperor, if you did not take the Emperor, Your Excellency, the minister who was with him, all of that stuff. Ming Emperor, that's how it all started. And how sadly when Alex said, see, the one more thing that is actually to debate, but I feel it is right, is it's Sir Alexander, right? And in the end, it's just Alex. That shows that he's come to such a small piece of what his ancestors were, and they were so great, so amazing. And it's just Alex, it's like nothing. And he was like, wait, it's the statue is only worth 720 guineas, and and the stand was worth 22,000 guineas, and that's just now one more thing to debate. I don't want to put you in a pickle, but what people say is that actually the artisan knew that the craftsman, the artisan knew that he was giving him a replica, or maybe he didn't know and he changed out the replica and felt bad about it. This is the other side, felt bad about it and gave him something that's worth a lot, and that's why he did it. But I feel it was just luck that he gave him a statue which was a copy, which is not as old, which is not as valuable, but he also gave him a stand which is just by luck, and he made so much money. The Story of an Hour by Kate Chopin, because yes, it's Kate Chopin, but this reminds me of Chopin, whose works I'm trying to learn right now. Mrs. Mallard. Mrs. Mallard, afflicted with a heart trouble. You get news that your loved one is dead. The one you love, the one you were supposed to spend your entire life with, that person is now dead. How would you react? Instead of being devastated, she was happy. She's like, okay, I'm going to be free. First, she was sad and locked her room. She's so happy that she's going to be free. She can do whatever she likes. She's not held by any restrictions anymore. Goes down. Oh my God. Oh my God. She dies. Why does she die? Tell me this. Why does Mrs. Mallard, in the end, die? She dies out of joy. It just was too late. It just was too damn late, and she died of heart disease, of joy that kills, because Bentley Mallard, Mrs. Mallard's beloved, lovely husband, was still alive, standing right there. Now, Kate Chopin is wonderful. Now, before this, we are going to talk about, after this, not before this, the chapter before this, sure. We're gonna talk about the story. Mhm. To build a fire. This is a sad one by Jack London. Uh, an old timer warned him not to go. He was too overconfident, too cocky. He's like, no, I'm gonna do it. He went, almost died. Matches screwed. Snow in his legs froze out, couldn't start a fire. Dog tried to kill the dog ran away. All that sad stuff. He realized that he made a huge mistake. Frostbite, too cold. Poor guy died. I'll link a movie down below, one which you should watch. One is a proper adaptation of the work, because this is obviously abridged. Proper adaptation of his work, and one which is just a little bit based on it, but not completely. So yeah, this one is also one I love. Quality, main topic right now, even in the world. Quality or quantity? What do you want? Why are German cars better than any other car in the world? Why are they preferred? Why does it take 2 years to make a Rolls Royce? And people spend so much money on a Rolls Royce and not on a regular car. Why? What is the thing about perfection? What is the thing about quality? That is exactly the thing that you see in this chapter. German name, Kessler Brothers. Kessler Brothers, how he went to them first time as a teenager, how it all worked out, how he used to keep going to them, how he just could measure his foot, tickle his foot with a little pencil, how they got less work because people advertised more, and people, when someone came into the shop, just wanted to get out of there as soon as possible, and the employees didn't give a shit about people, how they just wanted them to get away as soon as possible, and they didn't care about how they fit. Once protagonist wore a shoe inside which was not his, and he knew just by looking at his foot, because he remembered all feet, remembered all shoes, that those are not my boots. You are not wearing my boots, and it is little tight over there. It doesn't fit you well. Try to lose mistaken, but yeah. And this is an amazing story by John Galsworthy. You will probably get that for a long answer. You should do that very well. Fridge. One very interesting story that we learned, that I heard of from a student, that they were both using horse tranquilizers and stuff like that. So they might have been on a trip, like a trip with psychoanalytic drugs, or like chemicals that alter your brain for pleasure, maybe mushrooms, maybe something else like that. Like, I'm just saying that's one of the stories that I heard about this. Fritz, how they came to Bundi, why they came to Bundi, how he remembered everything when he came to Bundi, the tree, the guy who was helping them, the food, how he ate less. One thing that was funny to me, he ate very little, just some rotis, some rice, some mutton, and I don't know how that's less, but that's up to the writer, right? So this is Satyajit Ray. We all know about Satyajit Ray, right? Here, to read this page well. Something instilling fear. Yeah, this word, macabre. May I said it wrong. Jayanto. So we have Jayanto here, and we have, yep, about how he remembered the past, how the furniture didn't look so big now because when he came, he was a kid, how his father was there in the first place, what happened when he got the doll, what happened to the doll, how the dogs messed up the doll, it was dead to him, he buried the doll, he buried Fritz. The man that sold it said that this doll was different, it could talk and stuff like that. All of that, remember all of this stuff. And in the end, what happened? A 12-inch white skeleton. Here it said 12-inch pure white, perfect little human skeleton from where Fritz was buried. What if Fritz was really human? What if it was mixed? What if it was artificial intelligence? What if it was an alien? What if it was a ghost in the body of a human child that had died so it could give purpose to someone like Jayanto? Now, the second last story that we are going to see is Salvatore. This is a rather sad one. Yeah, but yeah. So he was a boy of 15, pleasant face, loved a girl, had to go away in the Navy, but he went a lot, so he saw a lot of places. He wrote letters in his shabby handwriting, all of that stuff. How he had rheumatoid arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and he had to come. He could never earn a living doing job or doing work as a man. So her family would not accept him. How his parents were really happy and leapt at him and kissed him continually. And what happened in his little town when he was back because he had heard the boys. How he married a woman who he described basically as ugly. Didn't like her very much. She bought him some land. He had two beautiful boys. He was bathing them, little one and the big one. The little one enjoyed the beach a lot. And the last and final story was that. Sorry, I must have missed something. Salvatore Fred's quality to build a fire, the story of an hour, the Chinese statue, gorilla and the guest room singing lessons, sound machine, and B. Wordsworth. And that is all of your prose. Echoes a collection of ISC short stories. Let's go.